Oh boy, let's talk about Millenniummon, shall we? So in episode 23 of Digimon Adventure 2020, we saw Moon Millenniummon. This could potentially mean a lot of things, like that Digimon Adventure 2020 exists in the same canon as the original Digimon Adventure, and even in the same canon as Digimon Tamers, albeit they may exist as alternate timelines or alternate realities within the same multiverse. Now, to explain this, I need to explain the story of Millenniummon, which dates all the way back to 1999, almost as if he was named after the millennium. In 1999, there were two games, although they were combined into one game for the Wondrous color. This is Digimon Adventure Anode Tamer and Cathode Tamer. This game is set within the canonical universe of the original Digimon Adventure, which of course also includes Digimon Adventure 02 and Digimon Adventure 3. This game is set after the events of the original Digimon Adventure. Millenniummon was born somehow as the DNA digivolution of Machinedramon and Chimeramon. Now this is interesting because while Machinedramon was in the original Digimon Adventure, Chimeramon didn't appear until Digimon Adventure 02, which is after the events of this game. So, Millenniummon appeared and he became so powerful that he defeated the Digidestined and he imprisoned them, guarding them with their own previous enemies from the series. Devimon, Etamon, Myotismon and Piedmon. Piedmon? Either way. The game centers around the main character Ryu Akiyama, the same Ryu Akiyama that would end up becoming one of the main characters of Digimon Tamers. Ryu travels the digital world and he defeats these enemies and frees the Digidestined, and eventually he fights and defeats Millenniummon and he saves the digital world. However, after this game, Millenniummon would appear once more after the events of the film about Diabolimon, Digimon Our War Game. Now, while the Diabolimon on the network is defeated, another Diabolimon appears in the digital world, and it is up to Ryu Akiyama to defeat him. After Ryu defeats him, Millenniummon appears, and he tears the digital world into two. Ryu traverses one half of the digital world, and once again defeats Millenniummon. However, in the other half of the digital world is another Digidestined who must partake in the same quest. This is none other than Ken Ichijoji, who would end up becoming the Digimon Emperor for Digimon Adventure 02. See, he also witnessed the events of the film Our War Game, and he would eventually defeat Millenniummon on his side of the digital world, and then together they would find their way into Millenniummon's heart or soul to fight his true form, which was Moon Millenniummon. The same Moon Millenniummon that has made an appearance in Digimon Adventure 2020. However, when they defeat Moon Millenniummon, Millenniummon reappears again, and he shoots dark spores at Ryu, intending to corrupt him and turn him evil, but instead Ken jumps in the way and they hit him, corrupting him and eventually turning him into the Digimon Emperor. Millenniummon would then disappear, and this scene of Ryu being corrupted by the dark spores would actually make it very briefly into the Digimon Adventure 02 anime as a flashback. Now, Moon Millenniummon would then reappear in another game, D1 Tamers, and Ryu would once again have to fight him. At the end of this game, Moon Millenniummon would reveal that him and Ryu are connected, and that one cannot die without the other. And at the end of the game, they seemingly disappear together. And then in another game, Digimon Tamers Brave Tamer, these two are fighting each other throughout time, where we would see Zeed Millenniummon, Millenniummon's Digivolution, and it would be revealed that Millenniummon was actually Ryu's true Digimon partner all along, and Ryu has to choose between him and Monodramon, Monodramon being the rookie form of Cyberdramon, who would be Ryu's partner in the Digimon Tamer series. Although instead, Monodramon would end up forcing a form of DNA digivolution between himself and Millenniummon, which is called Jogles, which would turn them into a Digitama, and that Digitama would eventually become Cyberdramon in the Digimon Tamers universe. And then, at the end of that game, Ryu would somehow end up in the Digimon Tamers world. He is the time-travelling Digidestined. And he is the time-travelling, world-travelling, reality-travelling Digidestined. And yes, all this is pretty damn crazy, and it is somehow all canon. Now, it is possible that the original Millenniummon came from a universe where Ken, the Digimon Emperor, wasn't defeated, and Chimeramon wasn't defeated, and Chimeramon eventually became Millenniummon, even though the only reason Ken was evil was because of Millenniummon in the first place. But Millenniummon has power over time and space, so timey-wimey, you know? It's also possible that Ken created Chimeramon subconsciously in the hope of bringing back his friend Ryu, who he had thought dead, since Ryu and Millenniummon are connected. Millenniummon has also shown up in other games such as Digimon Battle Spirits, which is a great 2D fighting game for the Wonder Swan colour. Apparently, Millenniummon has conquered many different realities and travels through time and space with the goal of conquering all realities. And if he and Ryu are truly tied, then it is possible that Ryu might actually end up in Digimon Adventure 2020, whether it's the Ryu from the original Adventure universe and the Digimon Tamers universe, or a new Ryu unique to this universe. After all, if this is an alternate version of the original Digimon Adventure universe, there should also be a version of Ryu in this universe. It's also possible that this Moon Millenniummon is the Millenniummon that was defeated in Brave Tamers, since Millenniummon has power over time and space. Maybe when Seed Millenniummon was defeated, his true form, Moon Millenniummon, Jesus Christ, I've said that too many times today. It's possible that his true form, Moon Millenniummon, was left, and that he's come to this universe to absorb data in an attempt to recreate a body for himself in the form of Millenniummon or Seed Millenniummon, and then to continue his conquest of all realities. In fact, perhaps the reason he came to this universe is because there's a Ryu in this universe, a Ryu who doesn't know about him yet. Perhaps he aims to partner up with this Ryu. Now, all this might sound pretty damn ridiculous and over the top, but all of the crazy-ass canon of the games are canon somehow. So, all this stuff could end up happening. For now, the confirmed canon for Digimon Adventure 2020 is that Moon Millenniummon is in the series, and he does have power over time and space. It's possible that in the series finale, we might get to see the combined power of all the Digidestined from all the different series. Perhaps even the games as well. After all, we did get something similar at the end of Digimon Cross Wars, when Digidestined from different universes appeared to combine forces to defeat Quartzmon. So this is the crazy-ass possible future of Digimon Adventure 2020. Having Millenniummon in the series is already pretty damn crazy, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with him. In my video that I recently made, well, it was a couple of months ago, about the 10 most powerful Digimon, he made the list, but he wasn't number 1. But now, the more I talk about him, the more I'm starting to rethink my decision. Maybe I'll have to redo my list. Maybe sometime in 2021. We'll wait to see how the series goes first. Maybe I should do a new list every year as the Digimon canon changes, perhaps. Perhaps that would be wise. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed hearing about Millenniummon. I enjoyed researching him. I actually learned a lot of things about him that I did not know before making this video. Maybe I can try and find these games with him in so I can play them. If I do this, then you could be damn sure I'll be turning them into videos and sharing them on the channel. So, until next time everybody, farewell.